Have you ever felt like your mind just won't stop spinning? Like you're drowning in thoughts you can't control, stuck in a mental loop that won't let you breathe? If you've ever longed for stillness, clarity, or just a break from the chaos inside your head, you're exactly where you need to be. Overthinking is a silent storm. It doesn't roar, but it rages, quietly clouding your judgment, stealing your inner peace, and exhausting your spirit. It's far too easy to get trapped in this mental whirlwind. You dwell on the past, regretting what you said or didn't say. You worry about the future, playing out worst-case scenarios that haven't even happened. And meanwhile, the present moment, the only thing that truly exists, slips away unnoticed. If you've ever felt overwhelmed, stuck in a loop of mental chatter, or lost in a maze of your own thoughts, know this: you are not alone. Millions silently suffer from this invisible weight. But there's good news. Buddhism, with its ancient wisdom, offers gentle but powerful guidance that can help calm the storm. In this video, we'll uncover 6 profound Buddhist teachings that can guide you back to a place of calm, clarity, and balance. Let's walk this path together and rediscover the peace that's already within you. Teaching number 1. Focus on the present moment. How often do you find yourself trapped in the cycle of expectation? You replay how things should have gone, or you brace for what might go wrong. You're either caught in the grip of yesterday's regrets or pulled by tomorrow's anxieties. We all do it. But here's the truth: the past is over and the future hasn't happened yet. The only real moment is now. The Buddha said it best: do not dwell in the past. Do not dream of the future. Concentrate the mind on the present moment. This isn't just poetic wisdom, it's a practical solution for a chaotic mind. The more you train yourself to come back to this moment, the breath you're taking, the sounds around you, the sensation of your body, the more peace you begin to feel. Overthinking begins to fade when you no longer feed it with memories or predictions. Because this moment, right now, is your anchor. And if you truly settle into it, you'll realize it's the only place life ever really happens. Illustrative story. There's a beautiful Zen parable about a monk and his young disciple walking along a river. The monk steps into the flowing water with calm certainty, while the disciple hesitates at the edge, paralyzed by fear. What if I slip? What if the current is too strong? He asks. The monk smiles gently and says, the river always flows. But the only way across is by being fully present and trusting this step. Then the next. That's life. When we overthink, we stand trembling at the riverbank, imagining disasters that haven't happened. But when we return to the present, when we trust this moment, we begin to move forward with grace. So if your mind is caught between what was and what might be, pause. Take a breath. Return to where your life is actually happening, here and now. Teaching number 2, stop fighting what you can't control. The more you think, the more you suffer. You replay conversations. You imagine future failures. You try to mentally control what is uncontrollable. But all of that thinking? It doesn't protect you. It only makes you tired. The Buddha once taught, suffering is not caused by external events, but by our attachment to them. In other words, it's not what happens to us, it's how we cling to what we wish didn't happen, or what we desperately want to control. Think about it. How many nights have you lost sleep over something you couldn't change? How much of your peace has been sacrificed trying to fix what was never in your hands? Freedom begins the moment you release the illusion of control. You can't stop the rain from falling, but you can choose whether to curse the storm or dance in it. You can't control other people's actions, but you can control how you respond. Accept what is. Let go of what was. And trust in what will be. When you stop wrestling with life and start flowing with it, overthinking loses its grip, and peace begins to return. As we learned in the last section, peace begins when we stop resisting what we can't control. But the real transformation happens when we learn to let go, fully and intentionally. Trying to control everything around us is like gripping sand in your fist. The tighter you squeeze, the more it slips through your fingers. So how do we end this cycle of needless suffering? The first and most important step is this: release the illusion of control. We cannot control everything: people's actions, the past, or the future. And when we cling to that illusion, we only invite more stress and fear into our lives. But when we surrender the need to manage the uncontrollable, something beautiful happens. Space opens up. And in that space, peace begins to grow. Take a moment to ask yourself a simple question: is this something I can control? If the answer is no, then give yourself permission to let it go. Release the grip. Let the tension fall away. And notice how your mind, little by little, starts to breathe again. There's a timeless story that captures this teaching perfectly. A monk once shared the tale of a man desperately pushing a heavy boulder up a hill. No matter how hard he tried, it wouldn't budge. His body ached. His spirit was exhausted. He turned to the monk and asked, "Why won't it move?" The monk replied with calm clarity, "Why are you pushing something that won't move? Let go. Only then will the path appear." This story reminds us that resistance to reality drains our strength. Overthinking is like pushing that same immovable boulder, exhausting, frustrating, and ultimately futile. Sometimes, the most courageous thing you can do isn't to try harder, but to let go completely. And let's be clear, letting go is not a sign of weakness. It's an act of strength. It is a declaration: I choose peace over struggle. I choose clarity over chaos. When you stop pushing, stop resisting, and stop overthinking, something incredible happens. You come home to yourself. You reclaim the peace that was always waiting for you, beneath the noise. Teaching number 3: simplicity is the key to peace and happiness. In today's fast-paced world, it's incredibly easy to lose ourselves in the noise. We are constantly bombarded by distractions, work deadlines, relationship demands, social media notifications, and an endless list of expectations. Our minds become tangled. We worry about everything: our image, our future, what others think, whether we're doing enough, being enough, having enough. Life starts to feel like an overwhelming maze, with every turn adding more weight to our already heavy shoulders. But Buddhism offers a powerful truth, often overlooked in our modern rush. Simplicity is the key to peace and happiness. It's not about having less for the sake of it. It's about letting go of what no longer serves us. It's about stripping life down to its essence, so we can see what really matters. The Buddha taught that peace doesn't come from chasing more, it comes from embracing less. In the Dhammapada, he shares this insight: there is no path to happiness. Happiness is the path. This means we don't have to run toward something in the distance. We don't need to keep striving, stressing, or overthinking our way to happiness. Instead, we find it right here, in this moment, in the breath you're taking now, in the simple awareness of being alive. When we simplify, we stop adding layers of stress, self-doubt, and mental clutter to our days. We stop carrying the weight of what if and not enough. And in doing so, we return to a kind of inner stillness, a place where peace has room to grow. Imagine this: waking up without rushing, eating without scrolling, breathing without hurrying to the next task. Life becomes less like a race, and more like a quiet, meaningful walk through a beautiful forest, one step at a time. The Zen monks live by a principle called shibumi, the art of elegant simplicity. It teaches that life's deepest beauty is found not in extravagance, but in quiet, thoughtful simplicity. One Zen master once said, "The simpler the life, the more profound the meaning." By cutting through the distractions and noise, you open yourself up to a deeper experience of life. Every action, whether it's sipping tea, walking, or simply sitting, becomes sacred. Every moment becomes an invitation to connect with yourself and the world in a more intentional way. So, take a breath. Clear the clutter, both mental and physical. And notice how peace begins to bloom, quietly, simply, and powerfully. As we continue this journey, you'll see that peace isn't something far away. It's something you can cultivate in the most ordinary moments. In the next section, we'll explore a surprising but powerful teaching: how embracing impermanence can free your mind and deepen your joy. In the previous section, we discovered the quiet power of simplicity, the way it clears space in our lives and minds, helping us reconnect with what truly matters. Now, we take that wisdom a step further by noticing how much of our stress is self-inflicted through the stories we constantly tell ourselves. Take a moment and really think, how much of your mental clutter is actually necessary? How many of your worries are created simply because you're focusing on things beyond your control? We often complicate life not because of what's happening, but because of the way we think about what's happening. We replay the past with regret. We fast forward into the future with fear. And in doing so, we overload our minds with thoughts that serve no purpose but to steal our peace. But the truth is this: neither the past nor the future exists in this moment. Right now, this breath, this heartbeat, this exact second, is the only thing that's real. And in this moment, you have a choice. You can choose to carry the weight of unnecessary thoughts, or you can choose to let them go and embrace simplicity. When you begin to release the excess, mental noise, emotional baggage, the pressure to do and be more, you start to feel something remarkable: lightness. You feel more rooted in your body, more present in your surroundings, more connected to life as it is, not as your mind tries to reframe it. And you realize something powerful. Happiness doesn't need to be chased or achieved through complicated plans. It lives in the smallest things. The warmth of sunlight on your skin during a quiet morning. A simple conversation with someone you care about. The rustling of leaves in the wind. These aren't just passing moments. They're sacred invitations to return to yourself. In the stillness that simplicity offers, you begin to hear something subtle yet profound: the gentle whisper of your true self. The part of you that's always been there, beneath the distractions and noise. Because when we strip away all the unnecessary clutter, both outside and within, what's left is clarity. What's left is peace. And in that space, we don't have to fight life anymore. We learn to flow with it. This kind of freedom doesn't come from having more, but from needing less. It's not about eliminating every challenge or hardship, but about changing how we relate to them. Meeting life from a place of grounded presence, not mental overdrive. So as you move through your day, ask yourself, what can I simplify? What thoughts am I clinging to that no longer serve me? What burdens am I carrying that I can gently set down? You might be surprised how much peace is waiting for you, just on the other side of letting go. Teaching number 4, your thoughts come and go, and they don't define you. There are days when our minds feel like stormy skies, filled with swirling thoughts that seem too heavy to bear. One moment you're fine, and the next, you're caught in a mental whirlwind of doubt, fear, and confusion. We've all been there. The past replays. The future looms. The present becomes foggy and hard to hold on to. Your mind feels cluttered, chaotic, like there's no escape. But Buddhism offers us a liberating truth. You are not your thoughts. The Buddha likened thoughts to clouds, impermanent, fleeting, and always shifting. They pass across the sky of your mind, appearing suddenly, sometimes dark and heavy, sometimes light and harmless. But no matter how intense they seem, they always pass. This teaching invites us to become the sky, not the clouds. To be the observer, not the storm. The Buddha once said, "With our thoughts, we make the world." This means that how we perceive and relate to our thoughts shapes our reality. If we identify with every negative thought, every fear, every criticism, we become tangled in their web. But when we simply notice thoughts without judgment or attachment, we create space between us and them, and in that space, we find freedom. Imagine sitting beside a calm river. The water flows gently, carrying leaves downstream. Do you reach in to grab each leaf? You simply observe. You let the leaves pass. Your thoughts are just like those leaves. They drift through your mind, And you don't have to grab onto them. You can let them move on. You can watch without reacting. You can return to the calm beneath it all. This doesn't mean thoughts won't come. They always will. But you get to choose. Will you chase every thought like a leaf in the river? Or will you let them float by, knowing that none of them define who you are? The more you practice this, the easier it becomes. And soon, what once felt like chaos becomes just another flow of the river, moving but no longer overwhelming you. As we begin to detach from our thoughts and reclaim our inner stillness, we open the door to something deeper, the power of patience. In the next section, we'll explore how cultivating patience can dissolve fear, ease anxiety, and help us move through life with strength and serenity. As we let go of identifying with every passing thought, like leaves floating gently down a river, we begin to notice a subtle but powerful shift. The storm of overthinking starts to settle. Buddha's teachings gently guide us to a new relationship with our thoughts. He once said, "Our life is shaped by our mind, for we become what we think." This statement carries incredible truth. Our thoughts are not just momentary ideas. They are the architects of our experience. If we dwell on fear, anger, or worry, we begin to live in a world colored by those feelings. But if we allow those restless thoughts to pass without clinging, without grabbing onto them, we create space for clarity, peace, and insight to emerge. Letting go of attachment doesn't mean we fight our thoughts. We're not pushing them away, nor are we pretending they don't exist. We're simply observing them, calmly, without judgment, knowing they will pass. Like clouds drifting through a blue sky. Like wind brushing through the trees. They come. And they go. With this shift in perspective, we stop fueling the cycle of overthinking. We step out of the noise and into stillness. A stillness that is always available, just beneath the surface. We begin to feel lighter, less burdened by mental chatter, more free. Each thought that arises no longer feels like something we have to wrestle with or resolve. It's just another cloud, another leaf. And the more we practice this gentle awareness, the more we experience life as it really is, without distortion or resistance. So as you go through your day, hold this truth close. Your thoughts are not facts. They're not permanent. And they most certainly don't define you. Let them come. Let them go. Return to presence. And in that presence, you'll find a peace more lasting than anything the mind can create. Teaching number 5, practice mindfulness. Anchor yourself in your breath. In today's world, everything moves fast. Notifications buzz. Deadlines loom. Conversations happen at light speed. And your mind? It's racing to keep up. Hopping from one thought to the next. Planning, worrying, analyzing, on an endless loop. This kind of mental momentum can leave us drained, anxious, and disconnected from the present moment. But Buddhism offers a powerful antidote: mindfulness. Mindfulness is the art of being here, of paying full attention to what's happening now, without judgment, without resistance. It doesn't require you to silence your mind or force it into stillness. Instead, it invites you to simply observe, with kindness, with openness, with curiosity. You begin by noticing your breath. When your thoughts start to spiral, when stress starts building, when you feel overwhelmed by everything all at once, come back to your breath. Take a slow, deep inhale. Pause for a second. Then exhale fully. Each breath becomes an anchor, a gentle return to the present moment. A reminder that this, right here, is enough. The Buddha once said, "When the mind is calm, the breath is calm." This teaching shows us the deep connection between our mental state and our breathing. When we breathe with awareness, the mind follows. It softens, slows, and steadies. In that moment, the mental noise begins to quiet. The inner storm loses its grip. Imagine again the flowing river from before. Your thoughts are still like leaves drifting downstream. But now, instead of reaching out to catch each one, you sit by the bank, breathing, watching, allowing. No grasping, No resisting. Just presence. With time, mindfulness becomes more than a practice. It becomes your default state. Instead of being pulled in 100 directions, your mind returns to the now. And in the now, you are safe. You are clear. You are at peace. The more you anchor yourself in your breath, the easier it becomes to navigate life with calm and clarity. No matter what chaos swirls around you, your breath brings you back. Back to center. Back to stillness. Back to yourself. Now that we've begun to master the art of mindfulness, we come to a teaching that is perhaps the most transformative of all: learning to embrace impermanence. In the next section, we'll explore how this powerful truth can help us let go of fear, deepen our joy, and live with more freedom than ever before. As we saw in the last section, the breath is more than just oxygen. It's your anchor. Each mindful inhale and exhale gives you the power to return to the present moment. And in that presence, you reclaim something priceless: the ability to live fully, freely, and clearly, right here, right now. So the next time your mind feels like it's spiraling, when the weight of your thoughts threatens to drown you, pause. Come back to your breath. Let each inhale ground you. Let each exhale soften you. One breath at a time, you return to yourself. One breath at a time, you free yourself from the grip of overthinking. Because with mindfulness, overthinking begins to lose its power. And in its place, calmness and clarity begin to take root in your mind. Teaching number 6, trust in impermanence. Your struggles will pass. Now we arrive at one of the most comforting and transformational truths in all of Buddhism. Everything changes. Nothing lasts forever. Not your pain. Not your fears. Not even the mental chaos that seems unshakable in your hardest moments. The Buddhist teaching of impermanence reminds us that life is in a constant state of motion. Everything, our thoughts, our emotions, our circumstances, is always shifting. And that includes our struggles. The Buddha once said, "All conditioned things are impermanent. Strive on with diligence." It's a profound reminder: whatever you're going through right now, no matter how heavy or overwhelming, it will pass. Just like the waves in the ocean rise and fall. Just like the seasons come and go. So too will this moment. So too will your pain. Overthinking often emerges from the fear that we're stuck. That our current discomfort, confusion, or heartbreak is somehow permanent. But impermanence dissolves that illusion. When you embrace the truth that nothing stays the same, you free yourself from the mental trap of forever. You stop believing the lie that this struggle defines you. And in its place, you begin to trust life's rhythm: the rise, the fall, the ebb, the flow. This shift in understanding lifts a tremendous burden from your mind. You no longer need to fix everything right now. You no longer need to hold on so tightly. Because you know it will pass. And when it does, you'll find yourself stronger, wiser, and more at peace than before. Now that you've learned these 6 timeless teachings, it's time to bring them to life. Start small. Start now. Embrace the present moment. Let go of unnecessary thoughts that keep you trapped in the past or anxious about the future. Simplify your life, externally and internally. And most of all, remember, nothing lasts forever. Not even your hardest days. Your mind is a powerful tool. And like any tool, it can be refined. With patience. With awareness. With daily practice. Over time, you can train your mind to focus, to soften, to stay steady, even in life's most uncertain moments. So if this video has inspired you, please like, subscribe, and share it with someone who may need this wisdom today. Let's continue walking this path, together. Stay present. Stay peaceful. And may you find true tranquility in every moment you live.